This camera sucks. Hey, what's happening? The Daniels family. Grayson. And Jeremy. This is the first time me going live. So definitely have to bear with me. Hi. Can you hear me? Thumbs up if you got audio. Yep, doing it great. And yes, I can hear you. Okay, good deal. So where are you guys from, Jeremy and Grayson? Ohio. Okay, that's where I'm at. You Cincinnati, you south of Columbus, north of Columbus, around Columbus, Grove City. Heck, you're just right down the road. Shoot. Yeah, 20 minutes. That's pretty awesome. So it's kind of weird. I've got to look over here to the side to to be able to read what's coming in. Do I need a beer for this? You probably will. Who knows? How's the look? I mean, can you see me clear, or is it fuzzy, or what? I've got my Mountain Dew. Remember, you came over to my place from work. Oh, okay. I remember who you now. Yep, the Millings. A little fuzzy. Yeah, that's what. Okay, you guys must be seeing exactly what I'm seeing. This is an old computer, and this is the first time ever using the camera on it. Maybe next time I'll go on my phone. So we'll just have to deal with it this time around. I'll just get better at it as I go. In the house. Yep, Terry Brown in the house. All right. Getting some people in. So, I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about? No worries. Doing great. Okay. John Boyle. I didn't think anybody would want to see my face, especially going live. Great state of Missouri. Okay. So EGN Kingdom is out of Missouri. Terry Brown in Butler, Alabama. Tim Freeman from Georgia. This is pretty cool. Got all kinds of people in here. What do you mean you can't see it? It's fuzzy. Is it that fuzzy that you can't see me at all? New YouTube channel. Oh, you started your YouTube channel. Is that correct? Mike Evans from West Virginia. Wow. Getting all kinds of people in here. Awesome. You have to send that to me. Do you still have my phone number? I'm not very good with names. Remember names. Jeremy, you still have my phone number? 26 degrees outside, huh? It is a whopping, I think it's 29 or 19 here. Yeah, it's a whopping 19 degrees here. Well, that was from 5 o'clock. Let's reset that. It's got to be cooler. Yeah, it's a whopping 10 degrees here right now. Oh, okay. It's Grayson. Okay. Ford versus Chevy versus Dodge versus Toyota versus, well, the Honda. Well, all right. I'm old school. You guys know what I run. I run the old school stuff. So Ford and Dodge is good if you want to go really old school, like 7.3, your 12 valve, your 24 valve Dodges. Those are going to be your best deal that old. Stay away from the 6.0s, 4.6.0s, and the 6.4s. 6.4s aren't horrible, but they're not the greatest. And if you go with the Dodge, by the way, as far as the old school, 12, 24 valve Dodges, I suggest staying away from an automatic transmission. I would definitely go with a manual in that for sure. As far as Toyota and Honda goes, I mean, I've hauled some crazy stuff in my days with a Toyota pickup truck, and as well as actually a Honda as well. So not the truck, but what was that thing? Passport. Yep, it was a Honda Passport. Done some hauling with it. So it's stay with your domestics, your Ford, Chevy, Dodge, as far as the old school. Nowadays, if you wanted to talk about the new ones, the new trucks, as far as Ford, Chevy, Dodge goes, I really couldn't tell you as much about the Toyotas as far as getting into hauling. I did hear that they were supposed to make a 1-ton or something like that, a dually truck. I heard through the grapevine. I'm not sure if they did or not. Never really kept up on it. Right now, your Ford and your Dodges are having an issue. 2019, 2020 Dodges with the CP4 pump. They actually started switching those back to a CP3 pump on the Dodges, as well as doing an upgrade through Dodge with an upgraded version of the CP4 pump. And a way to locate that is there's actually a dimple toward the top of the casting of the pump. It looks like they just took a drill bit and just put a dimple in the top of the pump. Supposedly, if you have that pump, you shouldn't have any worries. Let's see here. My son is talking, but I can ask him. Let's see here. Who else do we have? Let's see here. Me, Dodge, and Ford. I agree. 36 degrees in New Hampshire. Let's see here. Terry Brown. Chris, I am 120 miles from the coast mobile. The coast mobile. Mobile. I don't know what that means. It's fuzzy because you are in. Well, I'm going to look, guys. This is I guess it's 480p. I don't know what that means because I'm kind of computer stupid. I mean, I've got a smarter than me phone here, so I'll have to have the woman come in and figure that out for the next time around. What about if you get them bulletproof? You must be talking about the 6.0. If you're wanting to get the 6.0 bulletproof, you can do it. I mean, I've heard great things about a bulletproof 6.0. The thing is you've got to put so much money into that engine to get it to that point. To me, it's just better just to look for something else. I don't have time to deal with, studding, doing head studs and all the other, all the other stuff that goes along with bulletproof in one of those 6.0s or the 6.4s even. I'm old and tired. I don't want to deal with that stuff anymore. But I do like to tinker around on my old 7.3. But I mean, if you do have a bulletproofed engine, why not? I'd run it. I kind of tell everybody, you just run what you got and build your business from there. That's the best thing to do. Keep your overhead low. My dad has a 2020 Dodge Bighorn. Daniel's family. Yep. Terry Brown, 41 cab over engine on a 4500 frame, 95. Oh, custom built. Okay. That's pretty cool. Let's see what else we have here. I just saw something. Love family. It's warmer in New Hampshire than it is in Georgia. I believe that. Everybody down south's really getting hit pretty hard right now. It's it's cold down south. Texas is in a pinch right now. A lot of people without electric. Oh, I can't read all that great, Terry. I guess Mobile, Alabama. I got you. How cold is it down there in Mobile? Was number 5 like who is next? How long you been married? Well, that's a funny thing. I've been with my woman since 2004, and we are not married. Her and I have been together. We might as well be married. And guess what? We are actually going to go down to Florida and tie the knot next month sometime. So, we're getting married. It's just one of them things. Her and I, we knew we were going to be together for whatever long and forever, I guess. And, just never really tied the knot. We haven't had any issues as far as our relationship goes, nothing out of the unordinary. Everybody has ups and downs, of course, being together that long. And we're just going to make it happen. We're going to go ahead and get married. So that's coming up. Let's see here. EGN. We in the state of Missouri call the common law marriage. Yeah. It was like after 7 years here in Ohio, but they got rid of that quite a bit. I am in the mountains in North Georgia. Okay. Tim Freeman is in the mountains. Let's see here. I am 120 miles north of Butler, Alabama, 26 degrees. Good deal. Yeah, that's unusually cold down that way for sure, but it should start warming up here within the next week for you guys. I think that jet stream is going to lift. You guys be out of that and be getting back to normal. Did you guys get any of the ice down there in Alabama? Did you guys get hit with any ice? EJN, I think we're going to do a YouTube live on it when I get married. There's not going to be a whole lot of people there. My future sister-in-law is actually going to be the one that's marrying us. She ended up getting ordained for Florida. And, we're just going to do something simple. There's going to be maybe, at the most, there might be 10 people there. And we're just going to do it on the beach. We're just going to go out on the beach and get married. And that's probably under a palm tree or something. I don't know. Whatever the woman wants. So I've always told her, you just tell me where to be and I'll make sure I'm there. So that's what we're going to do. Let's see here. What road do you live on, or what area in Grove City? I don't live in Grove City, actually. I live down toward Circleville, which is about 20 minutes south of Grove City. You are not far from Georgia. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Has anyone ever looked at ship sheet trailers? I don't know anything about ship sheet trailers. I haven't looked at them. Thanks on that, by the way, EJN. Yeah, the trailers that I run, I've got a 30-foot, what is that, Big Tex. I hardly ever pull that thing. Every now and again I'll pull it, but most of my stuff, I use my bumper pull. So, and my work's a lot different than the hot shots out here today. I'm pretty much old school. Let's see here, we have a new trailer. Sorry, I got the hiccups. I have a new trailer. It's a Valley 22-foot, 14 or 16-pound or 16K trailer. Love it. Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of questions as far as trailers go. Like, I see tons of questions on the Facebook forums, like, what's the best trailer? What's the best truck? what's the best combination, want to stay in 26,000 and under. And the best thing that I can say on the trailer aspect of it is, stay in 26,000 and under. These trailers, these goosenecks and stuff, they were built for the farmer. They were built for the farmer to use locally, maybe go out of town every now and again with it and maybe get used, 50 times a year. They weren't designed to run across country day after day after day. So, you just got to find the trailer that's going to work for you best. Don't spend a ton of money on a trailer and let them sell you something that, might be better than the next one. As I tell you right now, Kaufman trailers, I had when I started, I had a 36-foot low deck 2-car hauler, and the center floor was missing because it was a car trailer. I ended up putting a center floor in it, and when it was hooked up to the trailer, it was so flimsy, man. You could walk on it, and the whole neck would just do this. It wouldn't do that bad going down the road or anything, but as soon as I put a car up front and tied it down or whatever, or even in the middle and tied it down, man, that whole trailer stiffened up. It all depends on, paying attention to your weight as far as what you're putting on the trailer and trying to get the heaviest part of that toward the center so your weight's equaled out. But as far as trailers go, I wouldn't go with some big expensive trailer just because of the name. I would definitely look them over, find something, technically it doesn't even have to have a torque tube in it. Let's see. What else do we have in here? Every store closed by 7 p.m. because of the ice. Yeah, that's hopefully everybody's okay. Why the bumper pull? Okay. I was waiting for that. The bumper pull, I bought it. I got to think of what I did. So my 36-foot Kaufman that I had at the time, the axle snapped. The axle snapped right where the U-bolt goes to the hanger and holds the axle in. And it was going to be 3 weeks to get the axle in that I need because it was a special order, special size. So I went ahead and ordered the axle. I didn't want to stay down for 3 weeks, and that was the only trailer that I had at the time. Well, I also have a bulldozer, a little D3 cat dozer. And I had been looking at that tilt deck trailer, that PJ that I ended up buying. I've been looking at it for like a year. And when the axle broke, and I knew I was down for 3 weeks at that time just to get the axle in, I went straight down to the dealership, the trailer shop, or the trailer dealership, and I purchased that trailer. I figured, what the heck, I'm going to try to use it for, I'll get by for 3 weeks with it, and then that'll be my dozer trailer or whatever, so I can haul my dozer around. Funny thing is, the bumper pull, I do so much. Like, I bet you 99% of my loads will get done with that bumper pull versus the gooseneck. And I've never had my dozer up on that bumper pull yet. And I've had that trailer over 4 years. But as far as the bumper pull goes, that trailer works for me. It might not work for you guys that's wanting to get into it or that are in it. It works for me. My niche is pretty daggone good as far as what I need. I run around for these construction companies, and typically it's a piece here, a piece there. If I do end up going out west or something to one of the job sites out there, more than likely I'll take my gooseneck unless I know that I'm picking up, delivering out west, loading again, and then coming back home, or know what I'm doing the rest of the week as far as soon as you get done out west, get your tail back here because we have more stuff for you to do out of here. So a lot of times, if I really don't need the gooseneck the majority of the time of me running. Let's see. Sorry if I'm saying a lot of things in chat. No, you're fine. You can say all you want in chat. Where did that go? What just happened? EGN, your comment got deleted, retracted for some reason. Also, congrats on the 1,000 subs. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I haul in the service. Been from coast to coast, all over the country. Chatting with from Western Canada. All right, we have a Canadian in here. That's awesome. Do you guys have? Let's see here. Mauve Farm. If I pronounce that wrong, if I pronounce any of your names wrong, I'm sorry. I don't read that well, especially out loud. But you say Mauve Farms. You're from Canada, Western Canada. Do you guys have a? Hi, Wardy. Do you guys have a lot of hot shotters up there or not? EJN. Let's see here. I haul in the service. Been from coast to coast, all over the country. That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. Are you you hauling for yourself, or are you still in the service? Not yet. Okay. Mauve Farm says not yet. They don't have many hot shots up that way. Is there? Do you see a big market up there, Mauve Farm, for that? As far as hot shotting, still in the service. Well, we appreciate your service. My brother's in the service as well. My oldest brother, and he's actually been deployed. He's actually down on the border right now, down in Texas. So we appreciate your service, 100%. What kind of truck you guys running? Let's see here. Mostly big rig stuff around here. I got you. Do you guys have any Mauve Farms? Are you wanting to get into this, or you just interested in it? Or when I was just doing local 100 miles or less from the house, a bumper pool was perfect fit. Nothing wrong with bumper pool if it works for you. Exactly. I mean, for what I do, that bumper pool is awesome. I use it, like I said, 99% of my loads is with the bumper pool. Now, if you're running the spot market, of course, you want as much, checking out load boards and stuff like that. You're wanting as much deck space as possible and be able to haul as much as possible. When you get into the traditional hot shotting, like what I'm into, I built my business out of the spot market into what I'm doing now. And as far as that goes, I don't need all that room, I guess. And I don't run all over the country. Mine's job site to job site. It's out of state, a couple states away. Our farthest place that I go is out to Iowa, just north. It's Polk City, Iowa, just north of Des Moines. I'm out of Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. As a supply technician, dual status. As an 88M, heavy vehicle operator. Sweet. There was 3 things that I wanted to do when I was in school. You know how they always ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? What was it? I wanted to be a mechanic. I wanted to be a mechanic. I wanted to drive a semi truck, and I wanted to go in the service. I've done 3 of those. I wasn't allowed to go in the service because I was partially colorblind, or I am partially colorblind. And at the time, I don't know if they allow it now, but I know at the time that flagged me and I wasn't able to get in. Do I miss Big Mama? No, I do not miss Big Mama. We've got to reveal Big Mama. That was the truck that I started my business with. One of my buddies had bought it, and he rebuilt the engine in it and started driving it past the house, and I hung my head and was kicking rocks every time I saw that thing go by because I really liked it. But now I don't miss it. I like bumper pools, but I think a gooseneck haul's a lot better. Very smooth ride. and is very easy to hook up. I agree to a certain extent. Goosenecks are nice. You don't have to really worry about, where you're putting your load on the trailer as far as behind the axle, I guess. Whereas a bumper pull, you really have to watch out, especially on mine, because the axles are more centered because it is a tilt deck. So, it's just second nature to me on where to put things. Yeah, I'm interested. Mile Farms, okay, out of Canada, Western Canada. Says he's interested, but will be starting out with a bumper pull and more or less local stuff within 300 miles. I currently work for a highway department snowplow trucker, and he's on lunch break now. That's awesome. Okay. Advice to you: get with your local welding shops and stuff like that. Depending on what you're wanting to haul, cars or whatever. Get with your car dealerships, your local welding shops, and small things like that, local businesses, and tell them what you're wanting to get into after you get all your ducks in a row there, and see if you can help them out. See here, 2020 Hotshot Trucking LLC. Hey Chris, partially colorblind too. Navy wouldn't let me do electronics and they sub. They're lost. I agree. You can't tell which wire it is. Just snip it. That's right. That's how I am. I still today, my neighbor, he's actually an electrician. He's helped me out a couple times here and there. As well as my woman. If I'm doing any kind of electrical here at the house, I have no problem doing it. It's just, if I can't see the collar, I have to depend on someone to come and say, hey, this is this collar, and I call him up because he's the electrician if I have a question and ask him what collar goes where. So, yeah, a lot of good help around here for that. So that's not too bad. And that neighbor is, what is he under? AJA Car. He's in here. When I grow up, I wouldn't mind doing hotshot trucking. Sounds fun. It is a lot of fun because you're out here doing your own thing, being your own boss, and basically you really have to have self-discipline to do it, for one. But what I would suggest, if anybody's wanting to get into this and not necessarily having any my phone is going nuts. Let me see if I can turn it down. There we go. If you don't have any trucking experience or mechanical experience, I would suggest taking, there's plenty of YouTube videos out here, for one, as far as how to fix the older generation trucks. These newer trucks that are out here today, you have to have a computer for them. Just to hook them in and figure out that the gas cap's just off or loose or something like that. Tim Freeman, I am 41 years old. I just turned 41. The other thing that I would recommend is go get a job somewhere that is in transportation. Like there's tons of transportation jobs around here, whether it's, running a P30 van for UPS or FedEx or even an Amazon van. Do that. Just make sure that you like being out here, running around in the vehicle. Another thing that I would suggest, if you wanted to go a little bit bigger, go ahead and get your CDL. Class B, Class A. I would recommend a Class A. Run local. Run gravel or whatever for some construction company or something like that. And, make sure you get your feet wet out here, because you'll be determined, or that will determine whether you like to be out on the road or not. At least it helped me as far as that goes. Let's see here. My farm, we use a lot of gooseneck or fifth wheel flatbeds on the farms here. I guess it's the same to their hay. Yep. I mean, it's the same. You guys are using pretty much the same setup that we use down here as far as flatbeds go. I don't know if Canada has Big Tex or PJ or what brands are up there, but it falls in the same category that I was talking about. As far as the trailers go, these trailers that we are using are, they were built for farmers just to use within a couple 100-mile radius, if that, and a handful of times a year versus, being out here running 600-700 miles a day, every day, days on end. So, they wear out pretty quick. Let's see here. EJN. I doubt I do hot shot trucking. I got a boy and he loves when I'm home and not gone working. I agree. My dad, he wasn't a, yeah, thanks AJ, car, pro-life. Anyway, my dad, he wasn't around a whole lot, but he worked a lot. He worked swing shift at RCA out of Circleville. And that man would work 12, 16 hours a day, swing shift. And, I admired him, but I didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with him. And on the boys' end, me, I miss my dad. He died when I was 24 years old, and he was 60. And I really wish that I was able to, have more time with him. He had just retired and didn't even get to enjoy his retirement, even after working all them hours and being loyal. So that really pushed me into being my own boss, because I was following down the same path he was, working for somebody, honestly. So I really like doing what I'm doing now. I have a lot of free time, a lot more than what I did have. Let's see here. Shit, get a farmer CDL and just stay away from the scales. Yeah, I tell you, that worked before I started, I guess. I mean, I did a little here and there, before I actually started my business, doing that stuff. But it'll catch up with you. It's not like the old days. It'll catch up with you. Let's see here. Guess what brand of tractor we have? Look at my profile picture. Did you guys get a John Deere? See here, Tim Freeman. Diamond C trailers look well built. Diamond C, I really haven't heard anything bad about them per se. The manufactured I-beam for Diamond C is pretty decent. I think that would be more of an upper class trailer for above 26,000 pounds. That's when I would really start paying attention to structurally built trailers. But you have to keep in mind, these trailers are mass produced. They're not going to be square. I've looked at several of them, set up several of them for when I used to work in construction business. The company would buy 5, 6, 7 of them at a time and have them wheeled in, and we'd have to set them up. And it's just like, I look at them and I'm like, you guys gave this much money for this crap. So, I mean, they've, and that's all of them. I mean, they went through PJ, Diamond C, or not Diamond C, PJ, Big Tex, Appalachian, and I think those were the 3s that they bought. The 3 different brands that they bought. Let's see, where are we at? Working keeps a lot of people alive, sadly. Once you're retired, it's hard on the body and it's hard on the body to slow down. I agree. My dad really wore himself out, though, when he was working at RCA. I mean, he would come home, do stuff around the house, go to bed, trying to keep things going around the house, go to bed, and like a couple hours later, they'd be calling, wanting to know if he could come back into work. And sadly, he would just get up and go back to work. Did the man have to do it? Technically, no, but he felt like he had to do it. So my brothers and I actually, and my sister, we actually started following down that same path. My sister doesn't do it very much anymore. She's in a good position now. I got to get a drink. She's in a good position now to where, she works a few days and then she has a few days off. It's not full 5 days a week. One of my brothers, he's in the Army, like I said, so he's good. He's also in the Union when he's not act, or when he's not doing stuff for the military. Another brother of mine, he's in construction work as well. He's in a pretty good position. He's doing good as far as being real active. He's not like my dad. And my other brother, he's the one that I worry about. The man ended up got a full retirement at, I believe, 49 years old. I think is how old he was. He ended up getting a full pension retirement from GE, and he had his mindset that he was going to move out, either down south or out west or something. And he ended up going and getting another full-time job, and he just works himself to the bone. If he's not at work, he's at home doing work out in the yard. So he says it's therapeutic to him, but I believe he needs to slow down a little bit because he's not as young as he used to be. I'm the youngest of the family, and I'm 41 years old. And there's quite a bit of years between me and him. So I feel that he needs to slow down a little at a time. That way he can enjoy time with his family a little more. But that's just my thought. Let's see here. We had a John Deere. Did I miss one? We had a John Deere, but we got rid of it. I'll have to check out your profile. Let's see here. Where else are we? I don't know why, but we did. Okay. What's a good medium range trailer for around 15,000 pounds? Okay, so you're looking at 26,000 and under on your truck. Jason M. I would say, let's see, PJ is going to be heavier than your big techs, just because PJ is a tube frame. It's a box tube frame, and it's heavier. Your big techs, and trying to think of a couple others. Let's see. You got big techs, Southern trailers. You have Kaufman. Those all use C channel frames. Depends on how much you want to spend. I tell you, the cheapest is probably Southern Trailers LLC. But that man, I've talked to that man. He's kind of a one-man show, and you have to pay for the trailer up front, and then he'll build it for you. Robert with South Georgia Hot Shot, he actually had one of those Southern Trailers LLC, and he just sold it to J-Love. So it seemed like he had a good time with the trailer, didn't have a whole lot of issues with it. The reason I didn't have him build me a trailer is the axles that he was using. They're not Dexter axles. They are, he told me, equivalent to a Dexter axle, like everything would swap over. But, I really started researching and stuff. And I'm the guy that follows my gut, and my gut said not to go through him. So I didn't. I was really glad to see Robert end up with a Diamond C and watched how it held up. And it seemed like it held up pretty good for him. That would be the cheapest way. And like all the trailers, you're basically waiting on the trailer to be built right now. Kaufman trailers, the only Kaufman trailer that I have ever owned or pulled or anything was that 36-footer that I had, the double car hauler. I loved it. I loved that trailer. It was really hard for me to get rid of that trailer personally, just because of what I could do with it. I could haul 11'4" tall stuff with that thing and made excellent money. And it was long enough I could throw up a couple cars if I was somewhere trying to get back or whatever. So as far as trailers, I mean, it's just kind of up to you. Price amounts, see how long they're going to be built, how far out it would be for you to get it, and go from there. But haven't really heard too much of those. What are those Texas Pride trailers? I haven't seen a whole lot of them. The only thing that I've heard about them are they're pretty heavy, very well built as far as overbuilt, I guess. But if you're getting in this light of work, you don't want something overbuilt. You want something light enough that's actually going to do the work. And the name of the game is haul as much as you can. So the lighter, the better. let's see here. They make some good money down there on the border. A lot of per diem and active duty pay. That is correct. He is getting active duty pay and per diem. They stuck him up in a hotel, rented him a car because they're not allowed to have a car of their own down there. And they got, they got that stuff taken care of. What ply tires what ply tires you use mostly on your trailers and trucks? I see toe piglet blowing tires left and right and center. Yeah, okay, you're right. South Georgia Hot Shot was another one that went through a lot of tires, but what you have to look at is between me and them, those guys would load to the hill as much as they could, and they'll run 600, 700 miles a day in and day out. So depending on the style of the tire and like you're asking, the ply of the tire, they're going to have blowouts. Now, I can tell you, what were those? Those were 14. I think they were 14 ply. My 36 foot, I had problems with tires, the softer tires, like a 12 ply, 10 ply, and 12 ply on that 36 footer. And I was able to step it up to a 14 ply. It was a China tire. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I can't remember the name of it. But I went with it, and I ended up getting 155,000 miles out of a set of tires on my trailer before I changed them out. And whatever those tires were, I can't tell you what they were. I can't remember. It started with an S. But I ended up swapping those out for a Gladiator because that's all I could get on that 36 foot. And those were a 14 ply and done real well. The other trailer, matter of fact, this tilt deck, that bumper pull that I have, I just swapped tires on it, and I had a 14 ply straight tread on those. And I can't remember the names of them, but I ended up getting 160,000 miles out of them. The higher the tire rating, the better, I guess, is for loading. My tires were actually rated higher than what I was able to haul with the trailer. So that was the name of the game. But here's the thing about that. It's a give and take kind of thing. You're going to pay a little more on the tires. The tires are definitely going to last you as long as you don't, flat spot them or curb them or whatever. The tires will definitely last you, especially up in that 14 ply. They are a harder tire, 110 PSI tire is what I was using. So when I changed them out this time, I went back to a 12 ply tire, and I tell you why. Those harder tires, those 14 plies over the years, what have we got? I think that trailer's almost 5 years old, that tilt deck. So over the years, I ended up taking the 14 tire or the 14 plies, putting them on pretty much right away as soon as I got the trailer. After that, I was doing a ton of equalizers along with springs, spring bushings. The springs weren't breaking. U-bolts weren't breaking or anything like that. But what the problem was I was having an issue with all the hardness and the vibration between that equalizer. It was just wearing everything out. So I ended up dropping it back down to a 12 ply tire this time. Seems to ride a little smoother. When I put the tires on there, that's when I ended up doing all equalizers, all springs, U-bolts, everything, bushings, the whole 9 yards. So we'll see how long that lasts. But I mean, it's kind of up to you on what you want to do. Don't put a 10 ply tire on it. I guarantee you, by the time you go a few thousand miles, I see my brother's in here. I agree. F China tires trump 2024. But yeah, As far as the tires go, I do not. These were made in Thailand, not China, so we're good. I definitely checked that out. Let's see here, Jason M. I'm down around Raleigh, North Carolina. What do you think about this area for freight? I tell you, I used to run North Carolina, South Carolina quite a bit when I was running cars. When I first started out, to be honest with you, I haven't even been down in West Virginia out of Ohio for 2 years, year and a half, 2 years. So I really couldn't tell you as far as that goes. The best thing to do is just kind of do a little bit of research, maybe stop in and check some load boards or whatever on your phone. You can look at U-Ship or something. It depends on what you want to haul. What do you want to get into, freight or cars? You have to let me know there, Jason. Hercules H, okay, the 14 tires, the 901 tires. Those weren't Hercules that I had on, but I have heard good reviews on the Hercules. Jason M, I'm new to Hot Shot, just helping my boy get into driving before I go to the Philippines. I used to drive years ago out west. Okay. As far as now, Jason, as far as that goes out there, the only thing that I can tell you about Raleigh is North Carolina, South Carolina area. Cars are real big out there, at least when I was doing it. I haven't messed with the load boards in a couple years now, so I really couldn't tell you even how the loads are, what the loads are even doing out there. Thanks for all the videos. I'm just glad somebody watches them. Doug, how are you? Do you plug your truck in during the winter? Absolutely. It's plugged in right now. If it's not plugged in, the truck is idling all night. Impressive. We have mostly used 10 ply. I got you. Okay. Hey, Chris, I gotta go. It was nice talking to you. All right. Sounds good. I'll check out your profile for sure. Okay. Freight. Okay. Trying to remember if I even hauled any freight out there, because after I started, it was like shortly after I started with cars, I ended up getting into cars and freight. And I don't know. I mean, you'd really have to watch the load board and see what's happening out there. And unfortunately, I have no load board that I look at. I'm strictly on call. Hey, Chris, I just saw that. Let's see here. Mancation 2021, hammer down. Keep that weekend open, Wardy. Absolutely. What weight rating of bumper pull hitch do you use for pintle? I actually use a 2 5/16 ball. It is a 2.5-inch receiver on that truck. I really don't recommend a 2-inch receiver as far as hauling, 7 tons, 7 tons behind your truck. So let's see here. Yes, cars are big around here for sure. Hashtag Brocation 2021. When can we meet the woman? Well, I don't know. I've been trying to get her on here. She was actually on one of my older videos. We went to Fort Myers Beach, Florida. So if you want to get a look at her, you have to look. She probably kicked my ass for that. Sell-in tires. That's it. That's what I used. If you want to get a look at her, you have to go back through my videos and make sure you watch the whole video. That way I can get a good view on it. But yeah, she was on. I'm trying to remember. I was hauling a boat down to Florida, Fort Myers Beach, Florida. I think we went to Salty Sam's Marina, ate at Doc Ford's. I remember that trip real well. She ended up we actually stayed down there for a few days right there at Fort Myers Beach, and she had 3 lobster tails within 2 nights. So this is pretty good. She loves her lobster. The good thing is for my boy is he is single, so no reason to be home on any certain days, which is, yeah, that is a big plus. this job is definitely for a single person. I mean, if you don't mind being out on the road and you're single, why not? I agree with that 100%. You get family involved, whether it's a wife or kids or girlfriend or something like that. You sit down and have that discussion with them. And what happens is they'll be fine with it for the first, I don't know, month, maybe 2 months. And then things start happening because she's taking on the whole load of the house. And while you're gone, she's picking up your slack when you're not there. So I just want to see her smack you. Yeah, she probably will. That's for sure. That's for sure. Holy cow. We've been on it 51 minutes. Wow. That's pretty awesome. Got 11 thumbs. There's only 13 people in here, but what the heck? I'm having a good time. But yeah, Saloon tires. I'm pretty sure that was it. Ray's got that for sure. I'm pretty sure that those were the tires that I ran. I had really good luck with those straight tread tires. Just have to see how well these 14 ply or these 12 ply that I have on there now. See how long they last. I don't care if they last 80,000 miles. I don't care. That's fine with me. I just want to see her smack you. Let's see here. Do I advertise for loads in my hometown? I used to. So what I ended up doing was I would go get a couple dozen donuts. We have a Tim Hortons here in town. So I would go get a couple dozen donuts, go to the local fab shops or car dealers and the body shops, by the way, when I was hauling cars because I had a winch on my trailer. I would go to them guys, drop off, at the time I had some business cards. I dropped off business cards along with the donuts and let them know what I could do. And if they needed any help, great. And the people that actually called me on that were the car dealers and wanted me to haul cars from like dealer to dealer, body shops. This here's where that falls in. Some of your body shops will go ahead and buy cars out of Copart, fix them up, flip them, and sell them. So I did have a few up in Columbus that called me and used me pretty regularly when I was hauling cars. So that's how I did and had some direct clients as that was kind of my start in having direct clients to see if I even liked it. I just got my downpipe put on my 7.3. Sweet. I love the older truck. Mine is a 97. I can work on it and afford the parts. That's exactly right. That's why I run the older stuff that I run. The 7.3, you can go right in town to any parts store and, 99% of the time they're going to have the part on the shelf to take care of the issue on your truck versus these new trucks. What are you going to do? I mean, you're at the dealer's mercy to hook it up to a scanner computer and figure out what is going on with it for sure. So yeah, I do like the older stuff. How about ag equipment? Yeah, that's another good one. If you have I'll just say like Case, John Deere dealer, anything like that. You can definitely hook up with them and see, because a lot of those do dealer to dealer as well. And a lot of them may sell something going to a farm, a few hundred miles away and needing it to get delivered. And they don't want to tie up their guy to go out of state or something like that. So that is actually a good idea, is to get with your farmers. Get with your farmers, because believe it or not, they need stuff. And as long as you let them know, like, hey, I'm going to be in this area. If you got anything, just let me know. And we can get it loaded and brought back to you. So, yeah, definitely check out with them guys. Let's see here. Have had it called a lot of things by the ladies, but never a lobster. That's funny. Let's see here. You will love the results. I need new air filter system. Maybe. I have been watching YouTube videos. What's going on with your air filter system, Jason? I mean, there's not really a whole lot to the system. I move a lot of ag equipment, have the mega ramps, which is a big help. I agree, especially if you get into your smaller stuff like what do I want to say? John Deere Gators, tricycle tractors. If you're hauling anything for the older stuff, those mega ramps are a huge, huge help. I see where people say get a better flow. Okay. You could probably get a better flow with a K&N air filter. See if anybody's done a test between whatever you're looking at and just a K&N filter and see what happens. That's the only upgrade that I've done as far as airflow on my 7.3. I did have a 7.3. It was a 2000 F450, and someone put a cold air pipe on it, stainless pipe, and I really didn't notice any difference. What was your worst load, and what happened? I don't know. I don't know. Worst load. I got to really think about that. I'll have to get with you on that. I'll have to think about that. Even something close, because I haven't really dealt with. Okay, I've got one for you. Broker calls me up. This was a broker that I dealt with for a long time. He calls me up and he's like, "Hey," he goes, "I've got the load that needs to go." I think it was in Virginia. Where was it? It was below. Where was it? I ended up going through Kingsport, Tennessee. I dropped in Kingsport, Tennessee, left there, and went to, I can't remember. Anyway, the directions that I had, against my better judgment, I ended up following my GPS. And I looked at 3 different units. I looked at Google Maps, my GPS, and MapQuest. I looked at all 3 of them just to see how the road was, and it was pitch dark. I mean, it was the middle of the night. I had to deliver first thing in the morning, and it had been raining. And I checked these roads out. I'm sitting on the side of the road, on the side of the highway, and I'm checking these roads out on the map, and they all look big, like big roads. So I decided to go ahead and do it, and started running down. And I had that 36-foot gooseneck on me, which is a low deck. So I mean, it's at 26 inches, 27 inches off the ground was the deck height. And as I started going down this road, it got windier and narrower. And then it turned into a gravel road. And then it went to a dirt road. And before I knew it, I was crossing a creek and going around curves that I didn't know I was going to make it. I had spotlights on the back to be able to see behind, like work lights, and I had those on. And the trees were growing like right up next to the road, and my tires and fender was like just rubbing the trees. But I ended up making it. And the next morning, them guys come in and unloaded me and asked me how I ended up getting there. And I told them, and every one of them was like, there ain't no way. I told them, I said, yeah. I just brought the mud right in with me. You just follow my tracks. That's where I was. They couldn't believe it. But I would say that was the worst one. I was kind of put in a situation. I was kind of put in a situation where, I didn't know where I was going, I guess. So let's see here. What was the worst load? Okay. Outdoor power equipment dealers hauling mini tractors and UTVs and motorcycles. There you go. That would work. I wonder sometimes if it's just more talk and things to do videos about when they talk about the airflow. Okay. Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, there's not much to it. I mean, if you can get more cold air to the truck, I mean, you're going to, it's going to help you. But I mean, you're going to go spend, those systems are probably what, a couple $100, I think. I haven't priced them in a while. Back in the day, I think they were about $400 or $500, depending on what you bought. They probably did come down in price. As far as what I ended up doing just to get a little more airflow is I just went and spent $50, I think is what it was, and bought a K&N filter at the parts store, threw it in it, and it's been fine. I haven't had any issues. Let's see. 2020 Hot Shot. Replacing the stock air filter with a 6637 combined with the 4-inch downpipe makes a big difference. There you go. He's got a 7.3. What was my coolest load? You even hauled anything for the military? Absolutely. I used to do quite a few things for the military. One of the craziest things that I hauled for the military was they actually paid me to load up scrap and haul it to the military scrapyard. I can't remember where it was. It was, I think, 6 or 7 of us. We ended up loading up a bunch of scrap out of a place, hauled it to the dump, the military dump, and they scrapped it. Some of the other things I hauled for the military is I'm real big on the older trucks, as you all know. I actually loaded up 2 1.25 ton square body Chevys out of Grove City at the military base, and hauled both of those down Pompano Beach, Florida area. Or no, wasn't Pompano Beach. What was that? Panama City. It was down around Panama City. Took them down there to the military base and got down there and delivered them. And they were telling me, yeah, we're just going to use them to target practice with. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. These trucks didn't have hardly any miles on them. And I drove both of them up on the trailer and drove them off of the trailer. And they're just going to blow them up. 6.2 diesels. 6.2 diesel, it wasn't much to talk about. I've actually got one out in the shop now, and I love it. But I'm just an old school junkie like that. I really like my old trucks. The coolest thing that I ever hauled. I've hauled a lot of stuff. As far as the coolest thing, a unique thing was I hauled an 8-foot in diameter prop for a boat. I took it all the way up to the border in Michigan. I can't remember the name of the town. I actually loaded it in Toledo and hauled it all the way up there. Man, that was a long, lonely ride after you get up north. Long, lonely ride. I would say that was probably the coolest. And I don't have any pictures of it. It wasn't very long after I started hauling, or when I hauled that. Let's see here. Any top secret high souls stuff for the military? Yes. So I think it's been long enough. I can tell you about this. I know what you're talking about now. I actually forgot. So out of Columbus, I had picked up this. I took this load for this armored car, and it was a Toyota. What was that thing? It was a 4-door Toyota. I can't remember if it was like a. Oh, help me out. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it was a 4-door Toyota SUV. This thing was armored out, bigger than crap. Okay, and I asked him, I was like, okay, what was it here for? Whatever, where's it going? The whole 9 yards. The stipulation on this load was I was not allowed to be in this vehicle at all. I could not load it. I could not unload it. I had to make sure that I had enough fuel to pick up and deliver Charleston, South Carolina, down at the base. I had to pick it up and had to make sure that I had enough fuel to drive straight through down to Charleston, West Virginia to deliver it. Okay. Wasn't allowed to stop anywhere. You had made sure you packed your lunch. If you had to piss, well, sorry, you're not allowed to stop. And when I got there, you had to stay on the base in your truck with the vehicle. So I was like, all right, fine. It paid great. So I get down into North Carolina, and I've noticed this car behind me, the whole way, off and on. And I really didn't think too much about it at first. More we got down there, I was like, all right, I'm being followed. They must have put eyes on me just to make sure I'm doing what I'm doing. So I ended up getting, I wasn't for sure, but that's what I had thought at the time. Ended up getting into North Carolina and ended up getting pulled in to the way station. And they pulled me around to the side. It's like, all right. So I got out of the truck. I'm sitting there, standing there next to the truck. And the trooper walks out from the building, starts walking toward me. He gets about halfway to me. Okay. And at the time, I'm thinking, all right, probably a little overweight. Yeah, that's right. It's 4Runner. Probably getting overweight or am overweight or whatever on the load. And, they're just dicking with me. He got about halfway out there. And another guy opened up the door from the building and yelled at him and said, nope, let him go. We'll get the next one. And the trooper turned around, looked at me. He says, well, I guess you're free to go. I took off out of there. And that car should have been way past me already. Nope. He pulled right back out with me a couple exits down. He ended up pulling back out with me and followed me pretty much the whole way down. So I did have a tail on me. And then again, once I got down there, I had to stay on the base. There was no place to eat. Luckily, I took food with me and all that stuff. So I would have to say that was probably one of the coolest military stuff that I ended up doing. Let's see here. I took that road. I was going to Manchester, Kentucky, and Raleigh, North Carolina. Okay. The guys must be talking toward yourselves, which is great. Does the military pay as good as the rumors? Back in, if you wanted good pay, you jumped on the military loads. Those things would be gone that quick. As soon as they popped up, they would be gone. I ended up getting quite a few military loads while I was running the load boards, just because you're not. You got to build your name for yourself out here. And the more you work with brokers, or at least this is the way it was when I was running the load boards a few years ago. When I was running or working with the brokers, I built a great relationship with them. Never told them no. I took the bad with the good. And, it really worked out. I made tons of money doing that, kept my bills paid, as it's basically building a relationship with a broker so they start calling you. And as far as the military loads, I hauled like 3 or 4 me calling in. And before I knew it, they were calling me saying, hey, it is military load. Can you haul? And it's like, yeah, I've got a TWIC card. Wherever we'll go. My TWIC card is actually expired now. I never renewed it. EGN, the military pays good, but it comes with a shitload of problems. You got that right. A lot of hoops to go through and finish the load. I do agree upon that. Some of them will have, some of them will want you to have a TWIC card, and then you get there and they're like, well, we don't need that. That doesn't mean anything. We're still going to check you. They'll have you set around. They'll go through and check everything as far as your trucks. You may get to the load point or the delivery point or the load point if it's going from base to base. And you may sit there for an hour or two before you even get loaded just so they can go through everything and get you back to the building. I have to run. Kids going to bed. All right, Tim Freeman, appreciate you. How far north have you delivered to? What was that? Bison, South Dakota. That's been about as well. Yeah, Bison, South Dakota. Is that the Monaca Bridge? What's that big bridge up in Michigan? all the way up north there. Wherever that bridge is, I ended up going north of there, straight to the border, and that's where I delivered that big impeller. The farthest west that I've been has been Denver, Colorado. I have no reason to cross the mountains out there, so that's as far as I went. Yeah, military equals high risk equals high rewards. That's pretty much right. I deal with it every day. I have my drive call to me, or my driver call to me 24 hours out, 12 hours out, 6 and 2. Yeah. Sounds like it's getting worse. Yeah, Exingen. Yeah, I think is that the Monaca, Tim? Do you know if is that called the Monaca Bridge, or what is that called up there? It's been so long ago. I've only been up there once, and I vowed never to go again because it is such a long ride up there. I mean, it's like nothing the whole way once you get up in the northern state. Let's see here. When do you? When I did restaurant service, we started our clock when we pulled into the base gates. You might sit there for 2 hours more. That is correct. Mob Farms is doing research. And another thing, I don't have all my eggs in one basket. I hope you guys know that. I mean, the trucking is my main priority. That's my main money maker. But I also get into a little bit of construction work. As far as the construction work goes, it's basically redoing driveways, asphalt millings, smoothing driveways out, whatever. I also get into water line service. Tomorrow, I just got a call today. Got a water line bus going into the house. They still got a little bit of pressure, and they wanted to wait until tomorrow. So I'll be out doing that tomorrow. Trying to think of what else I get into. Get into riding four-wheelers, or not much four-wheelers anymore, but I got a couple Aces here. Plus, we have a Polaris Ranger here that we go riding down in Kentucky with quite a bit, down on our property. Let's see here. If you ever find your way out to Missouri, let me know. Fan meetup, LOL. Correct. Absolutely. More and more I get into this, I do not mind meeting up with anybody. I think it's cool to meet different people and kind of hang out and shoot shit with everybody. And, it's just how I am. Pretty straightforward, too. I mean, you can pretty much ask me anything and I tell you about it. Let's see here. You do a lot of excavating work. Kinda. I have a mini excavator. My brother and I actually have a mini excavator. I think he's dug a basement with it. With the mini excavator. He dug a basement with it, I think. I've done some ditch work with it, along as well as water line services, digging stumps, whatever. I've done quite a bit of that with that machine. I've got my John Deere tractor. Man, I have a D3 dozer that I haven't really put to use yet. I got to do some work on it. Probably going to order parts for it toward the end of next month. That way we can get it up and going for spring, and you guys can see more videos on that for sure. There's some things that you guys haven't seen yet that's going to be coming up on the channel. So it's not just going to be for the hot shot trucking. Of course, it's going to be quite a bit of stuff. It's just a life in my shoes, basically, what I get into. We flip some cars every now and then. Every now and again, I like to go to the GSA auctions. There you go. I actually, I was scrapping a car for a farmer buddy of mine, and it was one of my first videos. And we decided to just go ahead have fun that day, crush the car with an excavator and make it happen, and made a video of it, and we put it up in the dump trailer after it was done, and finished loading up the dump trailer, and I hauled it away. So, yeah. I used to scrap a bunch when I was younger as well. When I was working for somebody, I go to work for 10, 12 hours a day through the summertime, and then come home and load up a trailer full of scrap, a 16-foot utility trailer with scrap, and then haul it in the next morning before I went to work. Have you ever watched any videos from Diesel Creek? I don't think I have. Really don't think I have watched Diesel Creek. I'll have to check them out. Matter of fact, I'll write it down. Diesel Creek. Do they get into the older stuff or the new stuff? Or both? Now, I do tell you guys, if you guys are wanting any information on these newer trucks as far as the Chevys go, I've had a 15, a 17, a 19, and now this 2020 5500 out here. The 15 truck, it was 397 horse. It was my first brand new truck I ever bought. I vowed never to buy one, but needed it for my business, so I ended up buying it. Had real good luck with that truck. 397 horse truck is what that one was. Got rid of it, traded it in on another new one, which was the 17. And, and the only reason I did was because my payments stayed the same. I stepped back into a warranty. There's 160 some thousand, maybe 170 some thousand miles on that truck. I can't remember. It's been so long ago, but I stepped into a brand new truck with a brand new warranty, 100,000 miles. I paid $3 or $4. I can't remember. It was under $5, $3 or $4 out of pocket to keep from being upside down in that truck. And like I said, stepped right into a brand new truck. So, and it was 445 horse, which I feel is way too much. They're pushing way too much in the trucks. 300 or 400 horse is plenty for being 26,000 and under with a pickup truck. Oh, where was we? Very neat. Let's see here. Flip Diesel Creek. You will enjoy the older stuff, or enjoy it. Older stuff. He has a 50s auto car. That's awesome. Lots of cool stuff he works on. Okay, I'll have to definitely check him out. Thanks again for the videos. Have to run. Have a good one. You too, Jason. Hopefully we'll do this again. Think about something that you want to talk about on the next one, questions wise, and we will try to answer them for you on the next videos. Ma Farms out of Canada. I want to call it Canada. Max at Hot Shot is another great channel. Our foreman lunch break is done. All right. Appreciate you watching. Yeah, we'll try to do this again for sure. Nice chatting with you guys. I'm George. All right, George. We appreciate you for sure. I'm glad you guys are watching the channel too. Like I said, it's a big step. I really never thought anybody, would be interested in it, something that I did, but it looks like we have at least, I think 1,100 and some subscribers now. So that's pretty good. This live chat, it was just kind of a spur of the moment. I told the woman, I said, I think I'm going to try to go live tonight, see what happens. And threw it out there and figured it out. I just winged it. So evidently I've got to get this off a 480p setting on my computer, but we'll figure that out hopefully for the next one for sure. What else we have in here? I think that's all the questions. I guess I want to say, I think it ought to be known. These videos, for me wanting to start these videos and putting these videos out for you guys, is basically just to make sure that, you have the knowledge. I'm passing on my knowledge from my experiences onto YouTube to try to help somebody out. I know what it's like to work on something, via vehicle or whatever, and not knowing. And, I really thought about it long and hard and tried to figure out what I could do to kind of give back. I really don't have anybody to pass my knowledge on to per se. I used to be a fleet mechanic, field mechanic, lube guy, diesel mechanic, dump truck driver, semi truck driver, all this local. I used to do quite a bit. I've been through quite a bit, know quite a bit. So, that's kind of what I'm doing the channel for, just kind of getting out the knowledge to you guys to kind of let you know my opinions. And that's basically all it is, my opinions and what you might want to check for and, on vehicles or whatever. So that's what it's all about for me. And, as far as hitting this 1,000 subscriber thing, and getting monetized, the whole money thing, trust me, it's not big money, not on a little channel. I've already talked to the woman about it because she asked, what was my plan. She knew I had a plan of getting monetized. And yes, we have a plan. And I think everybody will be pretty excited about that toward the end of the year, because all proceeds that come into my channel are being donated. I'm going to donate them, and we'll figure that out toward the end of the year. I'm not keeping any of it. So that's all the watchers. Every time I get a thumbs up or you guys watch my videos or whatever, that just adds to that. And it's going to go to some good. It might be like Wounded Warriors, Toys for Tots. Who else? We have Shriners. Might go toward the Shriners kids. Something like that. So we'll just have to see. We'll take a what you want to call it, a vote. We'll take a poll on it, see which one that we want to do from there, and I'll let you guys decide where it goes to. But I am pretty interested, pretty excited about being able to do that. Anybody want to know about anything else? Oh, here we go. Let's see here. It takes a lot of time and money to produce videos. I just bought a GoPro Hero 7 Black. Just don't know when I'll be able to get back on the road. Your videos are much appreciated. Well, thank you about the videos. That means a lot. If I'm able to help out one person, that's a big one. I actually had quite a few hits. I didn't think I would get it, but I had quite a few hits on the what was that? The fuel bowl heater on the 7.3. A lot of comments on that and a lot of hits. I couldn't believe how many views that thing had. So, and that's not a very old video. So stuff like that I throw out there and just kind of wonder, well, is this really going to help somebody? So, yeah. And I do agree. I mean, all my videos are done on this phone right here. My cell phone. All the videos I do are on that phone. All the editing is on that phone. Everything. So who said daddy? Regina Trans. Okay. So she says daddy. I ain't your daddy. What else we got? Yeah, I haven't went out and bought a GoPro or anything like that. I just bought a fuel bowl rebuild kit. Need a heater too. They don't last long. I tell you what, on those 7.3s on that fuel bowl heater, if you ever do run into an issue and you pop at number 30 fuse, which is a 30 amp fuse, by the way, if you pop that fuse and you're kind of, late night or whatever, just get up there by the fuel bowl, go ahead and unplug it on the outside of the fuel bowl, and your truck will run. It'll quit blowing that fuse. But I wouldn't leave it unplugged forever. Make sure you remember it and get it replaced and plug it back in, especially in the colder climates. I also have a truck that we're going to be painting. I don't know if I'm going to put that on video or not. I have a that 83 Chevy square body that I have. Been trying to get out there the past couple weeks to get it ready for paint, and haven't quite been able to make it out there yet. So we'll be doing that sometime soon, and I still have to get a hood for that truck. I haven't decided whether I wanted a cow hood for it or just a standard hood. A rat unplugged mine. That's awesome. But in Georgia, I don't think I need it. You might need it this week. You might need it this week down in Georgia. From what I understand, it's kind of cold down there. That's funny. I have this buddy of mine. He lives over in Indiana. And he was wanting to get in the hot shop world, in the hot shop business. He went out and bought a truck, bought a trailer, bought everything used. He went with a 99 truck. He actually bought the same trailer that I had, the 36-foot Kaufman low deck, and it had a full for it, extra D-rings added to it. And he bought this truck out in Colorado. And he ended up bringing it back, and it's been up in Bryant. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still up in Bryant, Ohio. Man, he was asking me, he was trying to get a hold of me, couldn't get a hold of me, and he was asking me a bunch of questions after he bought the truck, and I told him, he had an oil leak, and certain things were happening, and he got a bunch of stuff fixed out there. Of course, it was just Band-Aided. Well, he finally got it back here got it back to Indiana, and ended up taking it to his personal mechanic up in Bryan, Ohio. And he ended up he put quite a bit of money in that truck just getting it back up to snuff. And he was like, yeah, he goes, there was a wire unplugged from the fuel bowl. There was, there was oil leaking out of the turbo pedestal is what I'm being told. I was like, all right, yeah, this is all normal stuff for a 7.3 stuff. If you have an issue with the 7.3, the first thing you do is open the hood, climb up on the bumper, and look directly down in the valley of that in the valley of that engine. And 95% of the time, your issue will show where it's at in the valley of that engine for sure. Whether it's a fuel issue, whether it's a fuse issue, whether it's an oil leak, you just have to clean it up, whatever, and look and see where it's coming from. But 95%, I would say, issues with the 7.3s is right in the valley. Let's see what we have here. It's going to be in the 20s tomorrow morning. Hopefully you got it plugged in. At least the block heater anyway. We might be doing a transmission on the Ford here for long too. We're just about hitting 100,000 miles on it. And I think that's a good time to just go ahead and pull it and either have it rebuilt or just go ahead and get another one and then have the original rebuilt and put up on the shelf for the next 100,000 miles. Certain things like that on the older trucks, that's kind of the thing that you want to do and prepare for on the preventative maintenance side when you're getting into the trucks of my age. Shoot, we've been on for an hour and a half. I figured it'd be 5 minutes and be a bust. Oh, man. What kind of videos you guys want to see me make? Try to get something happening. Let's see here. I plug it in 2 hours before I need to go anywhere. I made an adapter for my car jack that fits the. Oh, okay. You made an adapter for the car jack that fits the 4R100 tranny. I got you. Yeah, somebody, I can't remember who it was, but somebody commented on one of my transmission videos there, or my maintenance videos about the transmission, and was saying that they've never seen a transmission pan designed that way or shaped that way for the 4R100s. I didn't know that they, made different style pans, I guess, on that transmission. I ended up buying an actual transmission jack and added a foot extension to it and sat it down in that pit that I work on my truck. 4R100. Mechanics call transmissions trannies. No offense to anybody, but that's just the way it is. It's called a tranny to us, as far as the old school. But don't take any offense to that. Anyway, we added a, or you could call it a JR. There you go. You just call it a JR. Ended up adding a foot extension. I built a foot extension for the transmission jack and have it down in that pit that I use on my truck, or use to do services on my truck. So I don't even know where I was going on that. By that, I kind of got sidetracked by a 4R100 tranny by Regina Trans. So that was a good one. Anyway, yep. We'll just call it a JR. Let's see here. I'm still here. Just needed more Mountain Dew. Yeah, I'm getting low. I'm on about eighth of a tank in this one. Oh boy. Yep. Anybody want any kind of video made, or what would you like to see me make as far as a video? Like I said, I get into quite a bit of stuff around here. Let's see here. Can or bottle? When I'm on the road, it's bottles. When I'm here at the house, I buy 3 12-packs at a time. So I've got cans here at the house. Let's see here. I tried to rent one, but couldn't find one. Took some C-channel and welded 4-inch flat bar that lined up with the pan, the pan bolts. Yeah, I mean, there was times. Well, yeah, we ended up building one. They actually make an adapter that I didn't know about until after I made one years ago. They actually made an adapter that fit down into a regular jack. But I ended up buying this one for the pit. I eventually want to have a shop here, so I'll end up having a lift in my shop. And, we'll just use it there. Yeah, all your trucks you got lying around. I'm sure you have 20 plus. Actually, I've cleaned up quite a bit here this year, or this past year. I ended up getting rid of quite a bit. And we actually made a little bit of a video up on a spring cleanup. I ended up getting rid of 2 cars. I got rid of my 72 Nova, 47 Plymouth, with suicide doors. I got rid of all my dad's Sears tractors. Got rid of a golf cart, several other things, a couple lawnmowers that was just kind of laying around. I cleaned up quite a bit this past year. So a lot of this stuff that's setting here needs to go. And I'll just tell you, it needs to go down to the property. We have 63 acres down in Jackson, Ohio, and I need to get it down there, and hopefully I can get it down there this spring. That's the hope. Let's see here. If you sell that Ford utility, give me a call. LOL. I've had a lot of people wanting that Ford. I do want to get back on that Ford when the weather breaks and it starts warming up. The only reason that I haven't really messed with it is all the stuff that's going on or has been going on. I ended up purchasing that truck, and it was like the next day or that day that I went and picked the truck up, they were closing states down, and really didn't know how the money flow was going to be. So last year I just kind of put my projects on hold that I had that I wanted to get taken care of. I put those on hold, and toward the end of last year I started working on stuff. So that Ford won't fit in my garage, unfortunately. So we are actually going to get that thing back up in the driveway. It's just sitting off the side of the driveway. We're going to get it back up in the driveway after the weather breaks and starts warming up, and I'm going to start messing with it. I want that thing running. The woman hates looking at it, so it's all more the while to make it run and start using it around the house. That's for sure. As far as trucks go, I can only vouch for me having three. I've got the 83 6.5 or 6.2 diesel sitting in the garage that I'm redoing. I take that back. I have four. So I have that. I have the 2020 5500 Silverado. I have the 99 Ford dually that I haul with, and then I have that. I think it's a 2000 F550 that you're talking about, the yellow one. So, yep, the Dodge that's sitting out there that you see every now and again, that's actually the woman's truck. We're going to get it going too. It won't fit, so sell it to me. Oh man, I can't even. Can you remember how much I paid for it? Evidently, you watched the video. Was it $1,600? I think it was $1,400, and then after everything, it was like $1,600 just to get it. I think is what I ended up having in it. Let's see, I have an E. Okay, so you have a van, E99 or early 99. I'm sorry. Single rear wheels utility, added lift gate. Love the truck, but need to swap 7.3 with the one I wrecked. Then I got to rebuild and have a spare 7.3. Yeah, that's the way to go. I tell you what, I'm finding these 7.3s around here. Not much. You'll give me enough to double my money. Why do you want that thing so bad?